Remember that one time we got in that crazy fight about it, and then we walked down to that buffet?
Yeah, that school was tearing us apart.
I know, like, what else in there did you not like?
A lot of the people were real stupid.
Oh, you remember they would always give us, like, lectures about everything, like, you gotta do this if you want your videos to be good. They gave us lectures about everything we did. And a lot of the people there had really shitty opinions about stuff.
Yes.
And they were all in these negative moods. These real buddy moods everywhere we went.
Didn't a lot of the people there have like a real trashiness to them?
Yeah, they're real like trash and meanish.
Like this feeling like if you like lean over close enough, you'd be like a garbage dump or something. It's like my high school had more of an elegance to it than this college
and that's where you got some of your many gal pals and many of your lays.
Yeah, it's this trashy place.
Yeah, but you did get action.
It was good.
Yeah.
But
Maybe one day you have to do a whole video about all that.
All the lays I've had?
Yeah.
Boy, I wonder how much space that'll take up.
I don't know, 5 videos?
I'll be like, well, it's like when I did this, it's like the first one.
I did it once against a tree in the woods.
It's like the first time I was 15 years old. And
MJ, your mother could see this.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, right.
Um,
and that woman knows who she is. Although I'm sure she's never seen this video and probably hasn't seen you since.
Who even knows if she's still alive today?
Oh.
I don't know.
Right now she's 78. Just kidding. Well...
Well, she's probably like 20.
Or like it's pretty close to your age.
Oh, no, she's 21. Yeah, she's pretty close. She's like about a year younger than me.
Everyone's always like, how old really is MJ? 28? I'm like, he's 22. He really is 20.
Some people like... I'm at some people in the community and like in like groups and stuff actually think I'm in my 30s at least. One of them thought I was 40.
I think there was one guy who looked like Tom Green, who was a real ass. And one time, you and me were outside, like we wanted to ditch, and we left. And he's like, "Hey guys, get in here, get in the class. You guys got to get in the class."
He pointed in front of everybody. He was humiliating us. He was pointing at us,
and everybody screamed all the way across this whole big field.
And everyone, it was the outside. You know, in a building, how you're outside, but the way the building's based, you're still sort of under it.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard to describe. Like, so we're walking. And then it's like, it's outside, but it's got a ceiling, you know what I mean? So it's like we're like leaving the building, and there's all these people, and he's pointing, and people are looking and looking at us. He's like, hey guys, you better get back into the class. You gonna come back with us? And remember what we did?
What did we say to him?
Didn't we flip him off or curse at him? Or
and then he looked at us real weird.
And
then we went with that whole class to the stagecraft to IHOP, and remember, like, you didn't have any money, so you borrowed mine or something. And we made the mistake of telling your mother that we did it, and she's like, MJ, you had no business getting that food. And I was like, I told her, I was like, me and MJ hardly ever get invited to events like that. Why are we going to turn it down?
I know.
Do you know what I mean? We were in there with all those people. Like,
the whole group.
And then we got driven over by that guy with the same name as you, and his car reeked of marijuana. You know what I mean?
Remember when he was in the car, he wore like this breathing mask or something.
And he was wearing that breathing mask driving, really erratic. I don't know what we were thinking getting a car with a guy like that.
I know, I looked at him, I said, why are you wearing that? He goes, he's like, to creep people out and wonder what they would say. I'm like, I wonder if he was wearing that so it wouldn't get high.
Weren't you worried that he was like, we were gonna, like a cop was gonna pull over that car and we were gonna have, like, get blamed for something? Like, we don't hang out with people like that, but we really wanted to go to IHOP and eat pancakes.
I love pancakes.
Yeah, like we went over there and ate these pancakes with all of them, and they remember we tried to talk about stuff, and they all would look at us like we'd say something, and it'd be a little weird, and they'd always have like a phrase, or they'd be like, that's weird. Like, remember people used to always say that?
It's like I can't say much with people taking me seriously.
I know. And then I left that school because I had enough of it, and I went to a film school, and you stayed there and finished to graduate. I went to the film school. At the film school, I went to the film school, and the film school was fine for a while, until I had to make this Walt Smeggins school tour film. And then, like, it became the biggest fiasco of my life. Like, I had to write this thing with this guy I called Joe Mama, and then we had to direct it, too. And, like, for some reason, I was, like, called the director. And how in the world can the director star in every scene in the video? And, like, explain it when he's behind the camera. I mean, when he's in front of the camera, every scene.
I keep thinking of that opening.
I mean, go look on here.
Like you're the director, and at the same time, you starred in it too.
So then we had to like finally switch it around and have Joe Mama do directing, but like first of all, like we didn't get good coverage on it, like, and it was like there was really no script really, so it was all like improvised and like everything went bad. And the editing, remember how atrocious that editing was? It was like so bad.
When you were at that refrigerator and that sound, how we were yelling.
Oh yeah, because like Joe Mama had the levels on the thing turned all the way up.
Would you care to come clean? I'd be honest about your opinions of Joe Mama.
Joe Mama ate my ass. No, I ran into Joe Mama once on the street, and he yelled out the window, "He fat ass!" and screamed it out the window.
He had some kind of problem with us. I've never.
He sent me this one letter, and he's like, "You're gonna live in your parents' basement your whole life." I'm like, I don't live in my parents' basement. You know what I mean? Like, I hate when people say that stuff. Like, why do you live in this? You know what I mean? It's like, I have all my stuff in the basement. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I mean you don't. But still, it's like.
No, I live up here.
He developed. I've never even met him, and he got a problem with me too. Like, why? What was his problem with us anyway?
He was mad because like we said something about the editing of the video.
Well, you weren't wrong.
No, like things happened, and at one point it all got all out of sync. Like it was all like, "Hey, what's making?" You know what I mean? It was all so screwed up. And then one time I said to him, I said at one point, "When we're done with this, I don't want to ever watch this video again in my entire life, because I was so tired of editing it." Somewhere too, I have on beta tapes. I wish I knew how to get them all, put them on a DVD. All these great outtakes of the event, and at one point it's me and him getting into an argument about the movement of the camera. It's great stuff. I mean, I put all of it up on YouTube if I can figure out how to get beta tapes on a DVD.
You think he got upset because like he edited some of it and he did some of it, but wasn't that like his first film he's ever cut together?
I think so.
You know, I mean, you and I have done like hundreds of stuff previous to that. I mean, I had nothing to do with it, but do you think he got real upset because he's like he felt he was real passionate about it? You know, it was like my first thing. I'm real proud of it, and the fact that that wasn't good, like he got upset.
And then
I mean, the first thing we did wasn't necessarily really good.
And then I left that school, and at that time you pretty much graduated from Essex, and then you went to Towson University, and you went there for a while, and you joined the fraternity, and that was fine.
Within the first few weeks, like, yeah, I was invited to join a fraternity.
And the guy who I saw, like, and he left the fraternity, the guy who invited you. Is it funny the guy who invited you left the fraternity?
Yeah, my big brother.
I know.
I'm still technically a member. Well, I'm considered alumni now.
I know. And, like, at that point, I went back to the school for, like, and I went to Towson University with you, and I took, like, a couple classes. And I remember something happened at that point, and I really couldn't do it at school and concentrate on it because I got, like, swimmer's... This is crazy, but I got, like, swimmer's ear. I got, like, this really bad ear infection. I'm not kidding about this. This was, like, 2 years ago. It was, like, this thing in my ear, and I don't know what it was and how I got it, but it was just the worst pain in my life. It was like someone took a screwdriver and nailed it in my head. I like, wanted to die. It was so painful. Remember I told you about that?
I know. If it happened to me, I think my ears are different. I would have just swabbed it out until it went away.
No, you couldn't do it. It was so infected. The ear was totally red, swollen shut, like pain. I mean, if that ever happens again, I mean, I'd have to get on, like, Xanax or something and, like, just, like, faint until it went away because it was so bad. And I remember I went in one day to the class and I had made this diorama about something. And I was on these pills, like these... Basically, I was on the strongest medication you could get. You know, because of this ear. So I went into class because I did not want to fail this thing. I think I quit the class, though. I think I did. But I went in on these pills. So I was basically on these... You know, these were prescription medication, like drugged. I was, like, basically high on these pills. And... Because, you know, they were so strong. And they wanted me to explain, like, these dioramas. I was in there going... Well, it's like there's like skeletons, and they're like dancing around, and and it went on for like 10 minutes of me explaining. It was so embarrassing, and I told the teacher afterwards. I said, "I'm sorry, I sounded like such a fucking idiot. I'm on all these pills because this bad ear infection. It was so embarrassing.
What did he say?
There's a woman.
What did she say?
She's like, oh, I can understand. But, like, I came across like a drug addict after using that stuff.
What was everyone's reaction when they watched?
They were all looking at me really weird.
Well,
like sort of laughing.
that was that typical, like, reaction.
The thing is, there's nothing I could do, and it happened, and, you know what I mean? Like, and because of that, I'm paranoid about, like, getting in the water now. Like, I'm worried it's going to happen again. I don't know if any of you ever had this happen, but it's called swimmer's ear. And it's like something gets in your ear, like water, and somehow it, like, becomes, like, this terrible infection. Like, now I'm not talking about, like a little bit of a clogged upness. I'm talking about, like I said, someone actually stabbing you in the ear constantly and never stopping.
It's like, I wish I could just take, like, a really long, thick, like, skinny sponge, stick it in the ear, and just, you know what I mean? Like, absorb whatever that is and just pull it out.
It's not like that, though. It's like the ear canal became infected.
That's never happened to me before.
No, it's like, it's very rare. I never even discussed this until now, and I sort of, because of doing this...
Makes me want to pick my ears.
Because of doing this stupid video, I started thinking about it now, and now I'm worrying about it again. Thanks, video. You butt. God, I'm exhausted. I just go to sleep on video.
Me too.
Is there anything else we want to say about college?
Well... Oh, boy. I've had some good times and some bad.
You had good times with the frat, though.
Yeah, a lot of good times with them.
Sometimes though they got you drunk, though. Remember all that?
I was fine with that. Yeah, one of the guys who got me drunk, the guy who did it the first time, like, I wasn't looking to drink that night, but he spiked 2 of my drinks, and I got so drunk, and then eventually the next thing I remember waking up, like, I remember drinking, and then, like, walking around a bit, and then the next thing I remember waking up on the steps.
Yeah.
And he was, like, so freaked out. He was like, MJ, are you alright? He says, are you on medication? I'm like, what? I'm like, no, what do you think, I'm nuts? No, I don't take medication. And then
oh, yeah.
I said, why? And he says, because I didn't know, he's like, I'm not assuming you are. I need to know if you are, because if you are, then we'll have to rush you to the hospital. I'm like, I'm fine.
I think
why?
they gave you alcohol. I think the alcohol poisoned you, whatever you call it.
Oh, no, he said, like, he says, if they didn't know if I took medication or not, and they were wondering if maybe that's why I didn't want to drink, and they said because maybe if that's the case, then, like, they might have done something real bad. He's like, oh no, what if I did something wrong? And I said no, and he says because you're not supposed to mix, like, certain medications with alcohol, and I didn't know if that's why I didn't want to drink. I said I didn't have any alcohol. He goes, yeah, you did. I spiked both your drinks with this, like true hard liquor.
Remember too, one time you went on that camping trip with them, and like,
oh, that was fun.
And you called me, and you were like, and you were, I don't know, basically you don't really know what happened that night. There might have been everything you can imagine going on in every sort of substance. And I said I'm not into any of that business, but your fraternity at that point might have been, we don't know, you might have been making it up. But you called me on the phone, you're like, hey, and like I was like, hello, MJ? And you're like, I'm out of the woods, and I was just in the woman's bathroom, and then I was like, what? And it was like, and then you were telling me, like, I'm gonna run through the woods tonight in the nude. And you were telling me all this stuff, and you don't remember any of this.
I don't.
And like, when I told you about it, you're like, what? I told you this? And you were calling up all your friends and telling them all this weird stuff. And then I was telling you about, like, Legos, and you're like, Eli's like the Lego maniac. And like, it was the weirdest experience in my life. I wish I recorded this call. And then, like, remember you said you, like, woke up the next day on, like, the wharf? Like, the wharf of the water?
What?
Remember you said you went fishing, and then that was all you remember on the whole trip? You went out fishing, and then you woke up on the same place you left?
Well, I know I woke up a lot, like, in my sleeping bag. What was killing me, though, is since we were in these campers, you know campers, it's like a trailer, or like an RV, but it's kind of like an RV, but it's smaller. And there was this tiny little space. There was this huge space in the back for 2 guys. This huge space on the other side, and in the middle there was this couch area. And if you rearrange the pillows, I put over top of that is where I put my sleeping bag. That was my own personal little spot, and that was it. Like, other than that, if I wanted to if I was tired or I just wanted to rest, I'd just go in there and just lay in my sleeping bag.
So I guess we should say good night from the video. Think we've said enough?
How long is the video now?
30 minutes.
Well, it's not too bad.
I think we said plenty.
I feel like it's been over an hour.
Because we did 2 takes.
Oh yeah, because it's 2 a.m. now.
So, good night.
Night.
Well, they could be watching this during the day.
So
good night, good evening,
good night,
afternoon.
or have a nice day, or whatever.
Whatever. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching and listening.
And subscribing and everything.